Let's take a look at this Ahmed Ahmed. He actually got shot twice. He was able to disarm one of the father-son gunmen team from Bondi Beach. That attack that happened in Sydney, Australia. So, it'll show it in a second. Right here.
Oh!
So if you saw, sorry I clicked off that, but you saw how he basically just ran up from the guy. He's like hiding he's like in between the cars, and he runs up and he gets behind the guy and he's able to disarm him. So Ahmed, Ahmed, he's a hero. This guy's a hero. He's a civilian without a gun. He attacked somebody. They say don't bring a knife to a gunfight. He didn't bring even a knife to a gunfight. And he ran behind him, was able to get his arm around him, was able to disarm him, and then he had the gun pointed on him. And then I almost feel like he probably should have shot. If you saw the very beginning, there was like two Australian couples. There was like an elderly couple that tried to disarm the first gunman from his car, and they were able to disarm him, but then the guy goes into the car and grabs another gun and ends up shooting those two. So I got several facts about what had happened with this, and so let's just run down some of these facts here. So it's a father and son. The father came to Australia. He had immigrated from India, and then the son was a citizen of Australia, so he was born there. So just two gunmen just started shooting a bunch of peaceful beach goers, and they were attending a Hanukkah event, and they ended up killing 15 people, including a 10-year-old girl named Matilda and an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor. 40 people were wounded, 15 people were killed. Father was shot and killed in the melee, and then I guess the son has been arrested. Apparently they had traveled to the Philippines, and they said that they may have been radicalized by ISIS. It looked like there was an ISIS flag in the front of their car and the windshield. They had shouted Allahu Akbar, which I'm not sure exactly what Allahu Akbar means, but some sort of terrorist, some sort of anti-Jewish terrorist attack. Okay? Now, whereas that's kind of the stereotype, right? Because Ahmed had stopped that gunman. Well, he himself is Muslim. He's a Muslim Australian citizen of Syrian origin. And so a Muslim had stopped the other two Muslims. And he is being called, he's made the Muslims and the Arabs are proud of this Ahmed. I saw Sammy Hamdi on Piers Morgan talking about it. How incredible, because for 2 billion people in the world, Islam is a religion of peace. People have criticized the police response time. It took them a while to get there. Then you have the cops had handguns versus, long-range rifles. 2 cops were in critical condition, critical care, because they were shot in the front, not in the back. So the police officers weren't running away and shot in the back. They got shot in the front. So, yeah, this is during Hanukkah. Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah. And some people think Ebenezer Scrooge is, but he's not. But you know who else is? All the Three Stooges. It's a damn shame how they treated Curly, though. So Hanukkah is a festival of lights. You know who's... What about O.J. Simpson? Not a Jew. So this had happened December 14th, 2025. Now the Prime Minister, Australia doesn't have freedom of speech to begin with, but the Prime Minister apparently didn't care for anti-Semitism or something, and so now there's a major crackdown. He's like cracking down all over the place with visas, with speaking, making it easier for the prosecutors to file charges on people. So there's going to be tougher hate speech laws already. They don't even have freedom of speech. So this, I kind of have mixed feelings about it because, hate speech is, don't discriminate people, right? The First Amendment says you tolerate other people's religions. As long as you're not committing crimes, and people get to express their religious vows, their religious ways however they feel like. So the Prime Minister of Australia is Anthony Albanese, and he is doing a major crackdown on hate speech laws right now. So you have, let's see, just make sure I got all the facts. Ahmed Ahmed, he had been shot twice in the shoulder, so he could have easily have been shot and killed. He's got a GoFundMe that has raised $2 million, so hopefully with $2 million he'll do okay. But he was able to tackle the guy when he was unarmed, and he was able to disarm him, which is an amazing feat. He's an Australian hero. One last point I'll make is that you had another video that just showed a guy that was just standing in front of the gunman. And I don't know if he just thought the gunman was a bad shot because it was like bolt action, so they would have to shoot and then reload and then shoot again. And the guy had stood in front of the tree, and the guy missed him twice. So there's like some crazy footage that's out there about this whole Bondi Beach attack. So I just want to highlight, this Ahmed Ahmed, because it just goes to show you he breaks the stereotype. Whereas, some people can be radicalized. You got radicalized Christians, right? The KKK, the Crusades, whole bunch of stuff. There was like a Christian, we're massacring people in China. Christians have been there's Spanish Inquisition. I mean, there's just a bunch of the Holocaust, the colonization of Africa, the colonization of the Americas, Australia. Christians have been killing people, left and right. So there's extremist Christians. But ultimately, if you look at the teachings of Jesus, he says, turn the other cheek, love thy enemy, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, the Good Samaritan. And they're calling this guy here, Ahmed Ahmed, a Good Samaritan. Because if you don't stop the gunman, okay, maybe you might get shot, but what will happen to all those other people if you don't stop evil? He saw evil happening. He saw evil happening, and he stood up and stopped it, very much at a risk to himself. So yeah, congratulations to Ahmed. What a terrible tragedy. But thank God that this tragedy was stopped. The police had shot the father and killed him, and then the son, I guess, was arrested.